What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel, where in today's video we will be discussing Crosshair's motivations and ultimately why his reasons for siding with the Empire actually go against his true desires. In episode 15 of The Bad Batch, Crosshair explains to Hunter that the Empire will soon control the entire galaxy and that he is going to be a part of it. He reasons with his brothers, asking them to join him as they were created to serve a greater purpose than that of ordinary clones. The Empire is phasing the rest of them out, but Crosshair is confident that his unique set of skills will make him a hero of this new regime for years to come. He wants his old squad to come with him because the truth is that he misses them, but he also believes that they were made to serve the Empire. This is their destiny, he just needs the rest of them to see what he already knows. The Empire has emerged as the single most dominant force in the galaxy, and he does not believe there's even the slightest chance of somebody rising to take them down. And because of that unlimited potential, that devastating amount of power, Crosshair feels that the Empire provides him with a purpose that no other faction or brotherhood could give him. Why go on the run and fight a hopeless fight when he can continue to ascend the Imperial ranks and stake his own claim in the history books? With the Empire, he and his brothers will be legendary. Without them, they will be forgotten, lost in time as nothing more than a few more meaningless pawns who fell along with the Jedi Order. But what Crosshair does not yet realize is that he is not a major player in the Empire's future plans. In fact, he has no meaningful role at all, and that should become pretty clear to him in the aftermath of Season 1, considering Kamino was destroyed with him still on the planet. He is a pawn, nothing more. He served his purpose, and when the opportunity presented itself, his leaders fired on his location without a thought of a potential rescue mission beforehand. He means nothing to them. Even if the Empire continues to tighten their grasp on the galaxy, which they will, his name will be lost among the others, and CT-9904 will be just another meaningless code that fades with the rest. With Clone Force 99, however, Crosshair will rediscover a sense of belonging, and under these new circumstances, he will find purpose that is far greater than anything the Empire could or would ever give him. The reality of the situation is actually the exact opposite of what Crosshair currently believes. For as long as he continues to run from the truth, to avoid reuniting with his brothers, he deprives himself of a life with any meaning, and without their lost brother, the Bad Batch will never be complete. Without him, the final piece to their family is missing, and without them, Crosshair is all alone. They know this, and in time, I would bet that Crosshair will too. In the final episode of Season 1, we see hesitation from him. He is firm in his stance to remain with the Empire, but the decision clearly hurts him because the only people he really cares about and the only ones who really care about him are leaving him, and it's his fault. Earlier on in the episode, he saves Omega rather than watching her drown in an attempt to save AZ. There's now an itch to do the right thing, which is something that did not exist just a short time before. He does have some desire to rejoin his brothers. He has a lot actually, but not on their side, and this is a story we have seen before. In many ways, Crosshair is like Kylo Ren. He desperately wants his brothers to join him, like Kylo with Rey. He even stands with them and fights by their side when push comes to shove, just like Kylo did with Rey in The Last Jedi. But ultimately, he refuses to join them on their side because he is hell-bent on proving to himself and to his counterparts that he has been right all along and that they just can't see it yet. It's them, not him, who needs to stop holding on to the past. He has to believe this now because it's his only choice. Like with Kylo Ren and also Darth Vader in Return of the Jedi, Crosshair thinks that it's too late, that he is too far gone, and that his fate has been sealed regardless of what his brothers say. And what I think is even more important in this is that he is not willing to face the fact that he chose the wrong side. Whether this is something he consciously recognizes or is subconsciously blocking out, Crosshair can't admit that everything he's done to this point was wrong, thus fueling internal conflict. And we see a similar thing with Kylo, as he literally tries to push himself further into the dark side in an attempt to prove to himself that he has made the right choice. But deep down, I think Kylo knows that what he is doing is wrong. Maybe not all along, but somewhere along the way, probably after he kills Han Solo, Kylo knows he's on the wrong side, but like Crosshair, he believes that it's too late to return, and so they both fight desperately to get away from that reality and to to justify their own actions. And from a certain point of view, they are righteous at times. But in the end, the truth wins both Kylo and Vader over, and time will tell if that becomes the case for Crosshair too. When we do come to the end, I think it's more likely that he will be redeemed, but it could be interesting if he isn't, because that would be a story we have not yet seen. And if he is redeemed, there's also the opportunity to allow him to return and actually claim his life back before death, unlike these other two characters. Anakin Skywalker returns to the light only to die moments later. Ben Solo gets a bit more time, but ultimately transcends in a similar fashion. But with Crosshair, maybe he returns and then gets to go off and help his brothers. Or, and this could potentially be the most interesting way to handle this situation, he doesn't go back with them at all, but he helps them from the inside. Whether due to his good conscience taking over in the heat of the moment, or him literally becoming like this spy and working to help his brothers around the clock. Like Hunter tells him before they part ways, just because they want different things doesn't mean they have to be enemies. I don't think it's any stretch to predict that that line was foreshadowing a possibility of what's to come. But what do you guys think? How do you think Crosshair's story will end? And if it were up to you, how would you like to see things play out? Do you want to see a redemption arc, or would you prefer that we see things take a darker turn and have Crosshair develop into a more determined and ruthless villain? Comment your thoughts and hopes for Season 2 of The Bad Batch down below. Please remember to drop a like on this video before you go. Subscribe to the channel for future Star Wars content, and of course, may the Force be with you always.